New Eden, where power is sometimes measured by the sharpness of a blade or the speed of a ship, there is one name that commands both fear and respect within the ranks of Angel Cartel. Gotan Kreiss, as the head of Domination's internal security, Kreiss is the unseen force that ensures the stability and survival. Her story is what we look at today, a story that echoes the very heart of the cartel itself. Gotan Kreiss was not born into power, but she craved a place for herself through sheer determination and an uncanny ability to navigate the treacherous waters of the Angel Cartel's internal politics. Her early life is also shrouded in mystery, with few records existing of her before she joined the cartel. It is said that she was once a low-level enforcer, cutting her teeth in the brutal underworld of New Eden's criminal enterprises. However, it was her keen mind and cold, calculating nature that set her apart from the countless others looking for power. As she climbed the ranks, Kreiss developed a reputation for being adamant in her pursuit of order. She quickly caught the attention of the Dominations. That's an elite branch of the cartel, responsible for enforcing its will across the stars. The Dominations recognized in her the qualities of a leader who could be trusted with the cartel's most sensitive and dangerous tasks. Once she ascended to the head of Domination's internal security, Gotan Kreiss became the cartel's most feared enforcer. Her primary responsibility was to maintain the integrity of the cartel by rooting out corruptions, dissent, and betrayal from within. In the chaotic world of New Eden, Kreiss was the iron hand that ensured the cartel's stability. Kreiss' approach to internal security is one of zero tolerance. She leaves no room for argument or negotiation. Her decisions is final and often brutal. Those who crossed her, or even those who simply fell under her suspicion, found themselves facing the full force of her wrath. Kreiss have little patience for weakness or disloyalty, and she makes it clear that the survival of the cartel comes before everything else. Despite her fearsome reputation, Kreiss was not a mindless tyrant. She understood the complexities of the cartel's operations and the delicate balance that had to be maintained between the various divisions. While she had no mandate to interfere directly with the other branches of the cartel, her influence was felt throughout the organization. Even the most powerful figures within the cartel knew better than to challenge her authority. Under Kreiss' watchful eye, the Angel Cartel thrived, expanding its influence and power. Her ability to maintain order within such a violent organization made her an invaluable asset to the cartel's leadership. Despite her success, Kreiss remained a shadowy figure, her true motives and ambition known only to herself. Some whispers that Kreiss harbored ambition beyond her current role, that she sought out one day to ascend to the very top of the cartel's hierarchy. Others believe that she was content with her position, seeing herself as the necessary force that kept the cartel from tearing itself apart. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: as long as Gotan Kreiss remain in power, the Angel Cartel will continue to regard her highly. Today, Gotan Kreiss' name is synonymous with discipline and fear within the Angel Cartel. Her legacy is one of unwavering control and an iron will that shaped the cartel into the powerful organization it is today. To those who serve under her know that failure is not an option, and those that oppose her will do so at their own peril. Gotan Kreiss is an individual that shaped the fate of an entire organization. Her story is one of survival, power, and the relentless pursuit of order, and as long as she remains in power, the Angel Cartel will continue to cast its long shadow across the stars, a shadow that bears the unmistakable mark of Gotan Kreiss. Few figures command the blend of fear, respect, and infamy that Hakim Stormare does. A man whose name is spoken in hushed tones, all the way from the deepest corner of the low security space to the most secure strongholds of the Angel Cartel. Hakim is both a scoundrel and a rogue, a figure whose past is as murky as the dark regions of New Eden. Hakim Stormare's origin are as elusive as the man himself. Of Intaki ancestry, he spent decades roaming the stars, indulging in the life of a wavering rogue. His early life is a patchwork of rumors and half-truth, with some tales of piracy, smuggling, and betrayal, weaving through his history like a poisonous thread. Wherever he went, chaos followed, and Hakim reveled in the freedom that the vast expanse of space afforded him. But as with all things in New Eden, even freedom has its limits. Hakim's reckless lifestyle eventually brought him to contact with the Angel Cartel, the most powerful and feared criminal organization in New Eden. Recognizing his talents and ruthless efficiency, the dominations, the elite ruling body of the cartel, brought him into their fold, appointing him as their chief of security actions. It was a role tailor-made for a man just like Hakim Stormare, where his particular brand of cruelty and ruthlessness could be put to use in service of something larger than himself. In the jargon of the Angel Cartel, security action is a euphemism of the brutal and often lethal measures taken against those who threaten the cartel's interests. As the head of these operations, Hakim became the embodiment of the cartel's wrath, executing their will with precision that left entire systems trembling in fear. Unlike Gotan Kreiss, whose approach to internal security was marked by an ironclad discipline and unwavering order, Hakim's methods were far more unpredictable and, in many ways, more terrifying. Where Kreiss was the iron hand that kept the cartel in line, Hakim was the storm, the force of nature that descended upon his enemies with the full fury of the cartel behind him. His reputation for cruelty was well earned, and his actions often spoke louder than any threat or promise could. It was said that Hakim could turn the most hardened criminal into a quivering wreck, with nothing more than a glance. His presence alone was often enough to break the will of those who dared to stand against the cartel. And when his presence wasn't enough, his actions were. Those who found themselves on the wrong side of security action led by Hakim Stormare rarely lived to tell the tale, and those who did were forever marked by that encounter. Despite his fearsome reputation, Hakim's relationship with Gotan Kreiss was one of mutual respect and, perhaps, a bit of grudging admiration. Both served in the cartel their own way, and both were indispensable to its continued dominance in New Eden. While Kreiss maintained order from within, Hakim was the sword that struck down threats from without. Together, they formed a partnership that kept the cartel's enemies at bay and ensured its continued survival. But even within the cartel, Hakim was a figure to be feared. His actions were not limited by a strict code or moral compass. but only by the whims of the dominations and his own dark impulses. Those who crossed him, whether they were enemies of the cartel or even members within it, quickly learned that there were fates far worse than death. Today, Hakim Stormare's name is etched into the wrecks of New Eden's most feared figures. His legacy is one of destruction and terror, a rogue who found purpose within the dark corridors of the Angel Cartel. As the chief of security actions, he continues to be the enforcer of the cartel's will, a role that he plays with a terrifying relish that leaves little doubt as to why he is so feared. Yet, for all his cruelty and ruthlessness, Hakim remains a figure shrouded in mystery. His true motivations, like his past, are known only to himself. Perhaps he is driven by a desire for power, or perhaps he simply enjoys the chaos that he creates. As long as Hakim's Macarial roams the stars, New Eden will never know peace, and the Angel Cartel will continue to thrive under the shadows of his dark wings. As the chief of operations for the Dominations, the covert operation arm of the Angel Cartel, Mizuro is a master of deception, wielding her sharp intellect and even sharper instincts with a lethal precision that leaves her enemies and sometimes even her allies forever scarred. To those who first encounter Mizuro Cybon, she represents a disarming image, petite with an air of vulnerability that she carefully cultivates. Mizuro is a master of playing at the assumptions and biases of those around her. Many who have crossed her path have made the fatal mistake of underestimating her, believing her to be nothing more than a delicate flower in a garden of thorns. But beneath that facade lies a mind as sharp as a razor wire, ready to ensnare and cut down anyone who dares to get too close. Mizuro's talent for manipulation is legendary within the Dominations. She knows how to twist the situation to her advantage, using her perceived fragility as a weapon to lure her targets into a false sense of security. By the time they realize the trap they've fallen into, it's often too late. To those who survive their encounters with her, do so with scars, both physical and psychological, that serves as a reminder of Mizuro Cybon. As the chief of operations, Mizuro's role within the Angel Cartel is one of immense power and responsibility. She oversees the cartel's most secretive and dangerous mission, ensuring that every move the organization makes is calculated and effective. Her influence extends across the far reaches of New Eden, where her operations can destabilize entire regions or topple powerful enemies without leaving a trace of any evidence. Her mastery of strategy and tactic is unparalleled, and she uses her intellect to weave intricate webs of deceit and manipulations. For Mizuro, everything is a game of chess, and she plays with the entire galaxy as her board. Her moves are often subtle, with her hand in every event, only becoming apparent long after the dust has settled. Mizuro's reputation within the Angel Cartel is one both of fear and admiration. She is known to be a calculating and cold-hearted operator, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve her goals. And to those who know her best, understand that to cross her is to invite disaster. Despite the fear she inspires, there are those within the cartel who respect Mizuro for her capabilities and her unwavering loyalty to the Dominations. She has risen to her position through sheer force of will, carving out a place for herself in a world where only the strongest survive. Her legacy within the cartel is one of quiet dominance, with her influence felt in every corner of the organization. In the end, Mizuro Cybon is a woman of contradictions. Delicate in her appearance but deadly in reality. Her ability to play on the perception of others while hiding her true nature is what makes her one of the most dangerous individuals. She is a rose with thorns of a razor wire, beautiful to behold but deadly to those who dare to get too close. Those who encounter Mizuro Cybon and live to tell the tale are few and far between. For most, she remains an enigma, a shadowy figure whose true nature is known only to those who have been ensnared in her deadly web. As long as the domination need someone to pull the strings from the shadows, Mizuro will continue to be a puppet master of New Eden's dark underworld. Her influence stretching far and wide, and her Macario leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. In the world of Angel Cartel, you can find Tobias Kruzhor, known throughout the cartel as a race. Kruzhor is a man of mystery and menace, a figure who operates in the shadows, but whose influence is felt across the entire criminal organization. Kruzhor serves as the right-hand man to Thrald Vukenda, a senior figure within the Angel Cartel. To many, Vukenda is the face of power and authority, but those who delve deeper into the cartel's murky underbelly knows that Kruzhor is the real force behind the throne. While Vukenda might hold the title, it is Reyes who keeps the enemies of the cartel at bay and ensures that its friends remain loyal. Reyes' reputation for brutality is well earned. He's a man who solves problems with efficiency, leaving behind a trail of destruction that serves as a warning to anyone who might consider crossing the cartel. To those who know of him, Kruzhor is more than just an enforcer. He's a symbol of the cartel's might, a force of nature that cannot be bargained with or subdued. Despite his fearsome reputation and apparent control over the cartel's affairs, Kruzhor remains an enigmatic figure. Many within the cartel, and even more outside of it, believe that he is the true power behind Vukenda. Some whispers that Vukenda is little more than a puppet, with Reyes pulling the strings from the shadows, ensuring that the cartel's operations run smoothly without interference. However, the true nature of Kruzhor's role we do not know, perhaps because the Angel Cartel is notorious for its layer of deception. Some believe that the notion of hidden masters controlling the cartel from the shadows is nothing more than an elaborate ruse. According to this theory, the truth is hidden in plain sight. Kruzhor himself may be one of the true leaders of the cartel, his powers masked by the illusion of serving as a mere subordinate to Vukenda. What sets Kruzhor apart from many other enforcers within the Angel Cartel is his reputation for absolute lack of remorse. Unlike others who may wield the power through charisma or cunning, Reyes' influence is built upon a foundation of fear. It is this reputation that has earned him the nickname Reyes, a moniker that speaks of his method of operation. When Kruzhor is involved, nothing is left standing. Entire operations have been razed to the ground on his orders, and those who have survived his wrath are left with little doubt that they have been spared only to serve as a living warning to others. Despite the fear he inspires, Kruzhor is not a man who seeks the spotlight. He is content to remain in the shadows, allowing others to believe that they hold the power, while he quietly ensures that the true interests of the cartel are protected. This makes him an even more dangerous figure, for it is impossible to predict where or when he might strike next. To those within the Angel Cartel, Tobias Kruzhor is both a protector and a nightmare, a figure who embodies the cartel's creed of survival at any cost. His loyalty to the cartel is unquestionable, and his method, while brutal, is effective. He is the man who enforces the cartel's will, ensuring that its enemies are eliminated and his allies kept in line. As the years pass, Kruzhor's legend only grows. He remains a figure of both fear and fascination within New Eden, a man whose power is matched only by his cruelty. Whether he is truly the power behind Vukenda, or simply the most feared nightmare pilot in the cartel.